Next.
It is a St. Louis landmark, the Goldenrod Showboat, and it's days away from the scrap heap. Our next guest is trying to save it. Hugh McFeeters, welcome to Big 550 KTRS. Hugh, are you there?
I am here.
You are a retired lawyer from Kirkwood. How'd you get hooked up with trying to save the Goldenrod Showboat?
I read about it in the Post. The Post ran an article, I think, last spring on the front page about how it was in jeopardy, and I had great memories of taking our kids there a couple of times. The dinner theater, campy melodramas, and so I think I called up Steve DeBellis, who was mentioned in the article, and that was the beginning of it.
That's the beginning of it. Mark Schenkelman's got a story in the newspaper today about that it could be scrapped. What's the state of the Goldenrod Showboat now?
Well, it's on the Illinois River above Campsville. We've been up to visit it. It's not in terrible shape, but it's we're going to have to raise a total. Well, we have to raise $70,000 to buy it. We've raised about $29,000 so far, and then we've got offers to bring it downriver. Well, we're going to have to do some repairs on the barge that it's sitting on, which might be another $30,000. Then we got offers to bring it downriver for free. I believe we have an arrangement with the city to moor it in front of the arch next to the helipad down there, and then we start raising the money to restore it.
But first, you need the money.
We need the money to buy it. That's the crucial thing right now.
And it sounds like there's a timeline, but between the money you need to raise and before the time runs out. What's that date?
It's roughly a week from now. The owners have had, they've got time and money in it, and they've said that if the Illinois River gets up to the point where they can float it out onto dry land, they're going to scrap it. They want it preserved. They're working with us, but they have had this nuisance for a long time, and so they're not going to wait forever.
So you need $40,000 in a week or so.
Probably less than a week.
Probably less than a week. From the pictures, Hugh, it looks like it's in rough shape. Is it better than it looks?
I don't. My son went through it. We went up to visit it. I didn't want to go up and down a bunch of ladders to get there. My son went through it and didn't think it was that terrible. And we think we can get volunteer labor and maybe materials at cost. And we don't think it's going to be that bad to fix it up. And it is a National Historic Landmark. I mean, it's one of a kind. Biggest and best showboat ever built.
So once you fix it up, though, if you're able to raise the money, are you going to make it a showboat again? And what will you do?
I don't think it's going to be a showboat going up and down the river, although that's possible. City of Grafton is also interested in it and has some money, so we might share it with them. But I think it's going to be a dinner theater primarily, moored right below the arch. And I think we can make a go of it as that.
It's over 100 years old. What makes it so historic? I know you said it's sort of part of your youth, but what makes it so worthy of saving?
Well, it is the largest and fanciest showboat ever built. It is a National Historic Landmark. Essentially, there's nothing like it left.
$40,000, it's a lot of money to you and me, but if the city wants it, the city's spending, they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars to fix the riverfront. They don't have $40,000 to throw your way to save a 100-year-old showboat?
I don't think that they do, and I think that we need to get them on board, backing this effort more than they have so far. But I think that this is basically, with the time frame that we're looking at, this has to be a private effort to raise that amount of money.
Yeah. So this is a call to arms, more or less. If people out there want to save the Goldenrod Showboat, you have about a week.
That's right, and the newspaper article did give the post office box, or I'm in the phone book. They can call me, we need to raise that money, and we've raised a significant amount of money already just from basically a handful of donors.
Right. You need $40,000 within a week or so. If it's scrapped, how much money can they get for all the scrap?
I don't know the answer to that.
You don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer. I don't think they can get as much as we're going to pay them to buy it.
Right.
But they're dealing in good faith. They're good people, so
sure.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Once you get the $40,000, and once you move it down to, let's say, you moor it next to the arch, how much more money are you going to need to then turn it into some type of dinner theater? Because there's all sorts of rules and regulations and code and all that type of stuff. You have to get it up to the 21st century standards. How much more money is that going to take?
I can't give you a real estimate on fixing it up. I do know this, that before the public is allowed on it, we're going to have to have 4 what are called protective cells, which are things that protect it if a barge breaks loose
right
upstream.
Sure.
It comes down and hits it. And that's not necessary while we're fixing it up, but that will be necessary when it goes in operation. So, there is a lot more money that will need to be raised, but we would also the city would have another huge tourist attraction.
Right. Hugh McFeeters, are you sad that you got involved with this? Are you rethinking that decision from a year or so ago?
Not at all. I'm an old guy. I need some challenges.
Good for you. Hugh McFeeters, what's the phone number if somebody wants to get a hold of you?
314-822-9417.
Hugh, good luck, and let us know how things turn out.
Will do.
You got it. Thanks.
Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Our pleasure. Mark Schinkelman's got a story in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch about this. The Goldenrod Showboat, when you first hear about it, you're like, who cares? But you know what? If it was the grandest showboat of its time, and it's still around and we can save it, why not? Here's I'm trying to help out Hugh here. Who's the billionaire Central West End Show Me Institute guy? What's his name? We've had him on the show.
The billionaire.
The
Show Me
billionaire. The
Institute guy?
billionaire. Who? Rex Singfield. Right. Thank you.
Oh.
So Rex Singfield's a billionaire, right? Rex Singfield's got a bad image of buying politicians, and right. Rex got $40,000. Rex, give him $40,000, bring it down, fix it up, turn it into a showboat. For no other reason than it'd be a great story.
Maybe he's been on the Goldenrod before.
He'd get $50,000 worth of great press out of the deal. You know what? Here's a guy who's just helping out a great cause because it's a nice showboat and it's a piece of history, and we should keep it. And quite frankly, what a nice thing to go down to the arch and see. A 100-year-old showboat, a little dinner theater, maybe a little, a little snack bar, a little something.
Mix of old and new.
Yeah.
The new,
Come on, Rex. Shake that tree a
Nothing
little
like
bit.
putting anyone on the spot, McGraw.
Well, he's got a couple bill hanging around. I mean, if he can give Tim Jones $20,000, he can give old Hugh $40 for the showboat. 9:30 here on the Big 550 KTR.